Hey,
By the way, I'm reading a book right now called Blindness. I mean, audiobook, I guess. It is. Everyone in the world goes blind.
wait. Just that sentence alone is hilarious. You're reading an audiobook called Blindness. Do you understand that sentence you just said?
There goes the entry to the show.
Yeah, there it is right there. If there was a better cold open, you have to show it to me because that's it. What?
What do you, like, how am I supposed to, I'm listening to it on Audible, so what do I say? I'm listening to a book?
Yeah.
Reading sounds so much
I'm
more like...
listening to a book. You're reading an audiobook called Blindness.
You know, I'm going to start phrasing it. I'm getting really into this book. That's what I'll say. That way it's kind of like...
That way it's that's like, you can't tell. It's ambiguous. You don't
What's
know
it
if
about?
you're reading it or listening to it.
It's about the world goes blind.
Like Bird Box?
And how society deals with it.
Are you listening to it in Braille?
No, but it is a pretty intense book. It's very apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
Which one is it?
Apoplectic?
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's quite the review.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FTS podcast, Friends Talking Shop. You have just downloaded the 50th episode
Yeah.
of FTS podcast. What a show we have in store for you. Guys, when we started this little endeavor, we knew it was we thought it was a bad idea. And episode 1 was such a bad idea that it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
Because it was so bad and so offensive. We couldn't,
Yeah.
it's the fun. Song of the South of podcast. It's no longer exists.
Analogy.
As we move forward to the 50th episode, I think I've
Hold on. When you say Song of the South, is that
yeah.
like a Confederate reference?
Yeah, sort of, yes.
It's like the cartoon. The Disney cartoon that was horribly racist.
Because there's a song by Alabama called Song of the South.
I've never heard it, but I can't imagine it's much better.
Hey, Song of the South.
Oh, don't sing it. That's offensive.
Mom, I'm going to shut
Don't do
my
it.
mouth.
You're going to cancel us.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but by the way, let's make sure the listeners know our first episode was not racist in any way.
No, that's right.
Yes.
No,
Let's
right.
not
Thank you.
draw a direct line to Song of the South.
Some of the other ones might have been.
Yeah.
We've had some dark moments with Soul Man, but
Yes.
we've learned. I think we've
By the way, I literally brought that up to the the origin.
What?
What is it called? The original sin of the tree, the apple with the snake. I talked to that reference person 2 days ago, and I brought up Soul Man again.
You talking about?
Why offended? Why offended?
Wait.
Who you offended?
You're gonna have to.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I think you're.
Help me out.
You're assuming something.
I'm sorry. The group that was offended by this Soul Man
reference,
attempt
right?
At humor.
Yes, which you talked about on a previous episode. You told that story how you brought up Soul Man in a business meeting to an African American gentleman that was clearly not a proper reference.
Yeah,
you referred to it as a basketball movie.
You called it a basketball. It really is not. Go ahead. Now help the listeners out with the rest of your
branch is, if you were to continue the metaphor of the tree with the original sin. Okay. The olive branch was extended. I think it might be it's being I think there's some potential sin. I think we're going to get back together again.
Oh, are you on Ambien? Did you pop an Ambien before this
is an
episode?
auspicious start.
I did make myself a drink.
Yeah, you're having trouble getting these sentences out.
No, actually, can you ask? Actually, I'm happy you asked me this question because I have 7 cocktail shakers in my kitchen. The reason why I do is not because I hoard like my father. It's because I can't find a cocktail shaker that I like. That they all don't work. None of them work. And what I mean by that, it means at the top, you have a silver like base, and you have like the part that goes on top, and then you have like the other part, the smaller part. It always gets stuck when I have the ice in there and I start shaking it, and I can't get it out. And it happens with all of them. So I buy another one, and so I'm clearly not doing this right. If any of our listeners have any idea how to shake a drink.
2 questions. One, why are you keeping the ones that don't work?
Well, I think it's not them. I think it's me.
I think that was funny.
But if it is you, then why are you buying another one?
Well, I just realized this today when I saw my cabinet. I saw 7 of them.
Why don't you go on YouTube and say how to do this properly? YouTube's the best. There's a video for YouTube is amazing to me. There is a video for anything. You could say like, I can't figure out this model of this obscure thing for this part and put it in YouTube, and there'll be some schmuck on there who's telling you how to do it. For everything. It's amazing.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Or AI could probably explain to you how to get around it.
AI is going to help you.
I do have a question. When you shake it, do you hold both ends, the cup and the top and bottom, or are you just holding the middle and just shaking it?
No, David. I used to bartend, and I will say when I bartend in like established places, I've never had this issue. It's only with these like homemade, or not homemade, but Amazon delivered. Josh,
perhaps a different brand of shaker.
We have 7 different brands.
They're all different brands. Or you keep buying the same brand.
No, different brands. This is basically a.
Then it's you. It's you.
Yeah, I think
it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Omar, he's the ultimate onion. Now he's a bartender. Like you keep peeling back. It's something new every time.
It's amazing. More and more.
Well, should I go back to the intro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go back.
So we got sidetracked. All right. So this is you're listening to a podcast right now. It's called FTS, Friends Talking Shop, and I'm your host, Dave. We're out of order in hosting, but we thought for this important episode of number 50 that we should go back to the OG hoster.
Absolutely.
That's me. And I am here to host this 50th episode. And actually, we had planned on doing something enormously special, guests, prizes. I mean, we had so much planned, and what we decided.
I actually have an announcement. We are doing something.
Oh,
we are have yes.
What are we doing?
This is actually one of the surprises of the show.
Surprising Dave and I.
Yeah, we could put some music here right now, a drum roll or something.
All right, done.
Something relevant. But we're going to have a raffle. Okay. And what the raffle is going to be is we're going to have our first ever IRL FTS luau.
Are we?
In Rincon, Puerto Rico.
Nice.
All right. You know what?
Is it sponsored?
I'm gonna put a stop to this right now.
Why would you do that?
Why? You don't want to get together?
What are you talking about? You're going to fly listeners to Puerto Rico for luau? Is that what I'm hearing? There's no way you're going to deliver
the first 10 emailers gets a free trip to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's actually
what are you talking about? How are you doing a luau in Puerto Rico for our listeners?
Listen, don't stop him.
What does a raffle win you here?
Yeah, well, maybe parts of the trip aren't paid for, right? But the logic is, I don't know. You know what? Maybe we'll pick this back up. But the thought is there. We should have some kind of an FTS live recording or
I think
luau.
So. We should
I like the idea of a luau.
We should do it in New York. Rent a place. We should do it in New York.
What does a luau actually even mean? Can you have a luau in New York?
You can have a luau anywhere. You can have a luau anywhere. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you called it a raffle, so that's where I want to just make sure our listeners know.
It's a raffle anyway. Is that when you have tickets?
Yes. Yeah. What is wrong with you? Did you just step out of a block of ice? Were you frozen for the last 30 years?
But the raffle gets you the invitation. It doesn't pay. It just gets invited. That's
correct.
The bouncer lets you in. That's
Listen, invitation's a lot.
Worst prize ever.
No, that's not true. Josh, people are starving for connection, especially I think our listeners. That's why they listen to our show.
All right. That was the worst cutoff of our intro ever. Normally it's pretty good, Omar. Normally you add something and it's like, okay, that was worth the interruption of our intro. But this one went in such a bizarre way.
See where it goes. Maybe you'll follow through.
It almost, and hear me out here. It almost was
whiskey was delivered.
It was.
Whiskey was
Deacon
delivered.
whiskey was delivered. So everybody, Jim Y, I hope you got your Deacon whiskey. Everybody else, I'm sure you did. So enjoy.
Yep.
Deacon whiskey, smoky, sweet, and peat.
All right. Well, let's go back to the introduction.
Go back.
All right, so I'm your host, Dave, and along with me are two hosts, which maybe you heard them speak already.
A little bit.
First, I'll introduce you to Josh. Josh, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. I got two little things here that I wanted to ask you guys about in the intro here. My what I call now my soft topics. So I was at the beach this weekend, like I normally do in the summer. It was It was kind of a half and half weekend. The first day was great. Sunday, that's today actually, was a rain out. So it is what it is. But I noticed on the beach on Saturday that my son and my father both were wearing underwear under their swimsuits. And I don't wear underwear under my swimsuit. And I thought, that's weird. Am I the odd one out here? I never thought anyone would wear underwear under their swimsuit. And this is the first I've noticed this.
Happening. What are you talking about?
I'm asking a question to the two of you.
Your son that you raised?
Yes.
How did you raise him?
Do you wear underwear under your swimsuit is my question.
Of course. But what did your son grow up?
Of course what? What did you say? Of course not, or of course?
No, of course not.
Thank you.
No, but wouldn't you know if your son, you raised him?
I don't know if he's wearing underwear under his swimsuit.
You didn't put swimsuits on him when he was a kid.
Yes, but you didn't put underwear on him. He's 18 years old now. I don't dress him anymore.
Do you think that's a modesty issue or like,
no.
You know?
What I learned was, then I asked my nephews, they wear underwear under their swimsuit.
Gosh.
So I think, but there's no reason to wear underwear under your swimsuit. I don't understand.
Correct.
Swimsuits are made so you don't need underwear. And underwear doesn't dry like a swimsuit dries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not optimal, but yeah, why did they do it? Why did they do it?
My dad was wearing it. And my dad is not the generation of my nephew and my son. And I thought that was incredibly strange.
Did you ask them?
Yes.
Did they know? Did your son know his grandpa does it? Did he get it from his grandpa?
He learned that his grandpa does it at that instant. He learned.
Josh awkwardly pointed it out in front of everybody.
Of course I did, because I couldn't believe
they were both independently already doing it.
But then my brother-in-law, who's roughly my age, does not wear underwear under his swimsuit either, and thought it was incredibly weird. Then we had a whole debate about, do the majority of guys on this beach, are they wearing underwear in their swimsuit? And I said, absolutely not.
Oh.
Yeah, but apparently these kids are.
I think half of men in general don't wear underwear in anything they wear.
No, that's not true.
That is horribly wrong.
That's in your world.
Yeah, you're way off the reservation with that one.
Well, here's I think the answer is. If I go and I wear a swimsuit because I might go swimming, but I might not go swimming, I might wear underwear because
really
it just is. Well, if you're just wearing underwear and like say we're going to be at the beach, but we might go to a restaurant or something like that, then I feel like I'm not. It's just a little bit more, But
you're wearing a bathing suit to a restaurant?
No, there's no.
Well, but I might jump in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no correlation. Josh's son and his father are jumping in the water. And yet they still wear underwear.
Well, if I was
Met Gala afterwards, like you are, Dave.
Well, if I was purely going to the pool or jump, and that's all I was doing, then I wouldn't. But if I had multiple things going on, I wouldn't mind getting my underwear wet. But if I might not want to wear just a swimsuit. If I was going.
This is the equivalent of like going like a fly fishing and wearing socks when you're waiting in the water.
With the waiters. Yeah, with the waiters.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Yeah. That's actually a decent analogy, except your Uggs and socks don't get wet like your underwear would.
But what did your son say? Did he say why? Did your dad say why?
Yeah. So look, my dad had a different reason than my son and my nephews. My dad basically is like, it's more comfortable, which I think is, I don't understand that at all.
Anti-chafing.
Especially the new bathing suits. Like the old, like mesh, white webbing that was in there. Right. I don't like that either that much. With the new bathing suits, like I have these Fair Harbor bathing suits. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they have like a lining, like a full, like leg lining.
I love linings.
Right. And it's very comfortable.
Sometimes.
And it's so much better than the old school webbing. But my dad said it was for comfort. My son, however, it's become very obvious that they think it looks cool.
It looks cool.
Because they got the underwear band above the swimsuit.
Are they Calvin? Is he wearing Calvin Klein underwear?
No, but that's not the point. I think that all the kids
That was the first underwear brand ever that was actually advertised to people. So it is actually a pretty good metaphor to use.
No, I know. I understand it is. I get it. I know what you're saying because it's like you show the Calvin Klein label. But my understanding is these kids, this generation beneath us. How about your son, Dave? Does your son wear underwear under his bathing suit?
I have no idea.
Yeah, right?
I have no idea.
I bet you he does. Cause
I will say, though,
yeah,
I actually I get the whole thing of linings. I was obsessed with them, but I do have some trunks that don't have lining, and it's actually even more comfortable.
What do you mean? No lining at all?
Correct.
Yeah, those are called shorts.
My last few shorts
No,
or swimming suits have no lining in it.
No
whatsoever.
lining at all.
Yeah, and
I've never seen that.
Yeah. See, like those, that's a weird feeling. That again, if I'm not just going in the pool and coming back, I might wear underwear if that was.
Wait. Actually, on this question, Dave, when was the last time you went out without underwear on?
Never.
Well, outside of swimming,
correct.
Never. I
Never.
don't think I've ever gone commando.
You've
I'm
terrified
of this.
Josh, how about you, Josh? You ever wear a pair of jeans with no underwear?
Never.
No, that would hurt. What the jeans?
No, it doesn't hurt. It's nice.
That's got to be awful.
Are they pants without a zipper?
Never. No.
Jeans with zippers or
yeah, never.
No,
never.
That would. Haven't you seen Something About Mary?
That's right.
When I saw that, changed my view forever of zippers. I'm never gonna.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I've ever done
Are you
that.
doing that often, Omar? You're wearing jeans without underwear?
Yeah, I do it. Yeah. It's actually, I feel, like.
Are you an adult film star? That is weird.
If I'm feeling like fit, which is like a 4 to 7% chance, I will wear, I love it.
I don't understand.
And I will say actually like my, my best friend Brett, he was in Egypt and he started wearing this it's like a kurta. It's like a one piece thing it's like a muumuu almost. Right. And he's been wearing that in all over Europe to different countries where other people don't wear it. And he doesn't wear underwear either with it. And he says it is the most glorious thing.
Listen, I could at least understand that more than jeans because you're not constricted.
And Josh, have you ever worn like a toga?
Yeah, I've worn a toga.
Okay, so did you wear underwear there?
Yes.
I'll tell you, I haven't experienced it.
The way they make underwear today, too, by the way, it's so comfortable now. I mean, I don't know what underwear you're wearing.
The closest idea I can give you to what it feels like is, have you guys ever sat like in a car where they have like those like air conditioned seats?
Yeah.
No, not a fan, air conditioned seats.
Yes.
It's blowing
cold air.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
But okay. That's fine, but I don't think that's a feeling that I strive for.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
The detriment of getting zippered up.
No, David. This is because of society's norms. Okay, that different organizations have told us how to live. We shouldn't. We are from the libertarian way of thinking. You should enjoy your life. And I don't want to wear dresses. Wait, where's this going?
Listen, it all comes back to wearing dresses. You want to wear dresses.
It all goes back to that. Listen, I don't put on underwear every day because society deems it proper. I do it because it's more comfortable.
It's sanitary too, right?
It's way better. It's just better.
That's why I wear T-shirts under my long sleeve shirts because I don't want to sweat through.
Oh, I don't do that.
You don't wear T-shirts anymore?
Under a long sleeve T-shirt?
A long sleeve like dress shirt, like for work. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Right?
Absolutely.
And don't you do that because you want to separate sweat onto that shirt?
100%.
That does apply to the underwear in some.
It does.
In a number of different ways. That's important.
It does indeed. Yeah. Boy, I didn't think this would get this much legs on it with this no pun intended. This question. I just thought I would take an informal survey, and I can't believe this has gone this direction.
Well, that's what we do here at FTS.
What a reveal. What a reveal from Omar. Omar, are you wearing underwear right now?
No, we don't have to.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
But I mean, again, this is like.
What about when you go out for Mexican food?
I don't have that traditionally. But Josh, I don't think that I mean, from what you've told me, neither one of you guys have actually tried it.
It's not about not trying it.
How do you know? It's like crack.
I'll tell you how I know. I used to wear boxer shorts all the time when I was younger. I would wear those to bed, and that's got to be the same feeling.
I agree.
And that's a very comfortable feeling to bed. I wear like a boxer briefs, but the long
bed
ones. to bed. I just wear underwear to bed. That's what I don't have a bed. I do have sleep shorts though. I will tell you that. I do have a couple pairs of sleep shorts and those are pretty comfortable. Actually, I do like those. But it's just easier to just go to bed in your underwear. Call it a night. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta have shorts on.
Really? Shorts on top? You have underwear with shorts?
Yeah, when I go to bed. Yeah, I wear
to bed?
Well, you never know when, there's a burglar in the house, you gotta run outside. So you gotta be ready for everything.
Well, that's interesting. So you're ready to go.
Yeah, right. You just never know.
Oh,
plus, I've got,
no, I don't
kids
do that.
in the house, and so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But my door's shut. My kids. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, this is what the 50th episode brings. You get
all
the details.
Pandora's box.
The other. Did you have two things, Josh?
I did, but I kind of feel like I wasted so much things there. I mean, it was like the other thing real quick was like we watched the movie the other night. I love showing my kids movies that I've seen that they haven't, that I think is real funny, and so they've seen a lot of them. So we watch. You ever see I Love You, Man? It's with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel.
So they became like best friends, and
he doesn't have any friends. He's getting married and he doesn't have any friends, and his fiance thinks that's weird. So he needs to go out and get friends because he didn't have a best man.
Oh, okay.
So Paul Rudd's hilarious, and he goes out and tries to find a friend. Goes on these quote unquote mandates, but it's very funny. But he's also a realtor, and this is going to be a little convoluted. But he's selling Lou Ferrigno's house. You know, Lou Ferrigno who played the Incredible Hulk, and it's very funny. And then I thought, because I started to remember the show, The Incredible Hulk, and what a great show that was, and I used to watch that as a kid. And I said to my the people in the room, like, do you think that Bruce Banner, who's the Incredible Hulk's alter ego, well, he's not the alter ego. The Incredible Hulk's the alter ego. Bruce Banner's the guy. He turns into the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Do you think Bruce Banner was ever like afraid to put on his favorite T-shirt?
I thought you were going to ask if he wore underwear.
No.
Those pants always held together. Everything else exploded, but somehow his pants stayed on. So, but eventually he wore underwear.
His pants would rip.
I loved him, and I hated Mr. McGee. I hated Mr. McGee because he always made him angry.
Who is Mr. McGee? Is he the military guy that was chasing McGee?
No, he would say, Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
You won't like me when I'm angry. That was his line. That was the tagline.
That was the line.
But don't you have like a favorite shirt? I have a lot of T-shirts that I really love, and if I ever didn't have control over hulking out, I'd be very afraid to wear them.
Listen, you guys know my wardrobe. I'm literally leaving tomorrow for a 10-day trip, and I have 15 white button-downs.
Yes. So you'd be fine because if you hulked out, you got plenty more.
How many do you pack on a trip like that?
Well, I packed. I'm exaggerating. I packed eight button-downs.
8 white button-down shirts.
Yep.
Same one.
The one I'm wearing right now, effectively, and a pair of black jeans and a pair of regular jeans and no underwear.
You packed no underwear for a 10-day trip. Get the hell out of here. And anyway. how many shakers did you pack?
Yeah, right. It would be nice if you had the same shirt. I've been going to the black T-shirt, although I got ridiculed for not being a V-neck.
No, that's not, David. That is not a good look with you with your skin tone. It doesn't look.
What? The black T-shirt you're talking about?
No, he looks like what's something that's like
let's
like black and like pink hueish.
What?
But David's skin is like a pink.
It's like ebony and ivory. That's they go together in perfect harmony.
Yes,
that's me.
That should be a song.
All right,
anyway,
well, let's keep going.
So that's how I'm
doing.
I'm good. I'm good.
Omar, you are the other host. How are you doing? And we should, in case you haven't noticed, Omar got a new microphone the episode 50. After all the ups and downs, that should be the big surprise for episode 50.
Should be.
Omar has a real mic.
No more issues.
He should sound much better. So Omar, how are you doing? You sound amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm great. I had a real interesting, I went into the vortex the other day, and I wanted just to touch on it with you guys. It's fascinating. I realized something. Do you guys remember a baseball player named Kenny Lofton?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, played for the Indians.
Yeah.
So,
Lead off
he
guy.
played for the Cleveland Indians, where that's when he was really peaking. And he, I remember, obviously, I'm from Baltimore, and I remember a game where in the playoffs, or a game where Kenny Lofton, he was particularly fast, he really, really incredibly fast, actually. And he was on second base. And, there was a sacrifice fly, which means that somebody on the Indians, on the team he plays on, hit a long fly ball to like right field, and he tagged. And not only did he tagged home. So he tagged two bases on one sacrifice.
Unheard of. Yeah.
And I remember when it happened, I was stupefied that it wasn't made a bigger deal of. And so I've like referred to it for years, and I tried to really find it this past weekend, that play.
Yeah.
And I got down that it happened during the 97 playoffs, but even then, there's nothing really written about it. So I feel like maybe I almost misremembered it.
Did you imagine it? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
Is
the
it on
point. And similarly, Josh, what are you going to say something?
Did you look on YouTube?
I don't know what to type.
You type Kenny Lofton,
two bases.
Yeah, sac fly, two bases.
If you could find that for me, I'd love to see it.
All right. Well, I'm going to get my crack staff and spend 5
my
seconds.
point is, I was so certain of it, right? And it's like, and it got me thinking there's, like, are there other delusions I have in my life? Like, I'm,
yes, the podcast is filled with them.
Yes, we have quite a bit of them.
I think half the things you say are probably.
So, yeah, it got me thinking maybe there's other things that I just made in my life to be really true that actually never really even happened.
Well, let's start with this one. How many white shirts do you really have? 3.
25.
Do you? Okay,
yeah, I do.
That's a real statement. Well,
okay, here's what you remember, by the way, because I just looked it up on YouTube.
Okay.
So what you remembered is sort of correct. He, on a passed ball, stole home from second base. So on a passed ball, he went to third and home. It was not a sac fly. Sac fly would be impossible.
That would be pretty incredible. Yeah.
Yes, without an error.
Unless he fell.
It was a
passed ball.
But the outfielder fell.
I found it right away. And that's your memory.
Has it before or since?
What's this?
Okay, so I feel a little better. Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't feel better. You didn't remember it properly, but nonetheless, you remember kind of it.
But those are the kind of things that are actually more rare than a no-hitter. Like, we should celebrate, some of these other things, triple play or,
That series,
100%.
the Orioles out-hit by a tremendous amount, outscored as well, the Indians, and yet still lost.
Yeah.
This is the luck of Baltimore.
You can't outscore another team and still lose. So I'm going to.
No, you can't.
Of course you can.
Oh, cumulative for the series. For the series.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant for the game. Yeah.
Series.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's very possible.
Well, I will. So someone asked me how I'm doing. Well,
how are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fine. My quick soft topic is this week I saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, it was good.
I'm all in with Tom Cruise. I didn't realize this, but in the last couple of years after the Maverick, I feel like Tom Cruise, just feed me whatever you're selling, and I'll take it. But the thing that was so interesting is I went to a theater. Normally I like to go to the biggest screen possible, right? IMAXs, and especially if he's gonna be jumping off cliffs on a motorcycle, I want to see it in a big screen. Sure. But there's a new theater in St. Louis that they show the movie on 3 screens. Have you heard about this?
No.
You have you have a middle screen.
Yeah.
They're connected, but they're separate. Like, there's a middle screen, and then there are 2 screens on the side that are angled so that it's a wraparound sort of feel to it. So now the movie flips back and forth. Sometimes the movie is just shown on the one screen in the front, but then when they go widescreen, which movies will go back and forth, then you get the whole thing. And so there's a car chase in, like, I don't know, Venice or something like that. And as they're doing the car chase, you see it with your vision, wrapped around you, and you're completely immersed in the action.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
It's so cool. It's actually better than an IMAX, because an IMAX it's immersive, like your whole vision is filled, but everything's just big, right? It's the head is big if they're talking. I don't necessarily want to see a big head. I want to feel like I'm an immersion experience, and the 3 screen is wonderful. So again, it's a public service announcement. If you have a theater in your neighborhood that's showing this 3-screen, it's called Screen X is what it's called. It's a B&B theater. I don't know if it's only a Midwest thing.
Never heard of that.
Well, it's awesome. So I'm here to recommend
Listen, this is what movie theaters have to do now.
For sure. Right.
Everybody at home has got something comparable to a regular movie now.
Right.
You know.
Oh, wait a second here, Mr. Surround Sound Theater guy.
No. I don't mean that they have a big screen. What I mean is everyone has at least an HD television of a decent size.
And 50-inch plus is not that expensive, right?
You don't need to go to the theater, and you can see all the movies anyway because they show up like a week after they're released at the theater. They show up on your on demand. So these theater companies have to do something even better, like this 3-screen idea, to get you to leave your house to actually see a movie there instead of in the comfort of your own home, which is always better.
Right.
I don't understand. Where does this end up? I mean, is there going to be like a 25 screen, like when you're like
I hope
fly?
So.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that's right.
Isn't that what Apple Vision is? That those goggles?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Maybe eventually that will be the movie theater experience.
Well, that's where theaters are in trouble. Yeah, because I think I saw the review of the Apple. It's not glass. I forget what it's called.
I can't remember what it's called.
But it's like when you can watch a movie and they'll actually makes it look like you're watching in a theater, like your front row, huge screen. You can make it as big as you want. Other than the weight of it on your face, if you don't like that, that could be our movie experience. Why would you ever go to a theater?
Wait, David. So you guys both think that the future of movie theaters is grim?
Yeah, of course it is, unless they keep advancing. When was the last, let me ask you a question. Think of yourself 20 years ago and think of yourself today. How many movies did you see in the course of a year 20 years ago in the theater, and how many do you see today?
Right.
I see none today.
That's also because you don't do anything besides play sports and eat hoagies. That's all you do. Ask your son and your daughter, do they go to the movie theater?
Very rarely. Very, very rarely.
It's right, because it comes out on streaming.
It comes out
so quickly.
Yeah.
And like I have a screen with a projector. Josh has got a screen with a projector.
Yeah.
It's I just wait a little bit. But some movies, you're right. This Mission Impossible movie is meant to see on the big screen, and with this wraparound, it's not the same as watching it on my screen at home.
They have to one up your home setup, and until they do, no one's going to leave their home setup. It's more comfortable. And by the movie tickets are not cheap either.
Oh, you know how much this ticket was? How much do you think a movie?
Oh my God. Just because you said that, I'm going to guess like $16.
$25.
See, that's insane.
That was with, I order online, so there's tax.
You guys are like one, like election or one like other observational way from being sitting on a porch with a shotgun. I mean, talking about movie tickets being so much more expensive now. I mean, are you going to start talking about the weather now?
Omar,
what is going on?
Topic.
Wait till you hear my topic. This is exactly will feed right into this, unfortunately.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's get started then.
Oh, God.
But I do want to start with Omar because he says he's got a hot one.
Do you want to tell people where to find us and everything, Dave?
But I will, yes. So going through all the particulars, we have a new thing to tell you about too. But first of all, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you could tell us that how wonderful we are, how great we are, how funny we are. You can send all those kinds of things to our email address, which is friends, plural, friends at fts.media. We'd love to hear from you there on email. Or you can check us out and on our website, which is www.friendstalkingshop.weebly.com.
I still can't get over that fucking email address.
Weebly.
It works.
No, Josh. It does not work. We get like 0.3 emails an episode. Okay, it's clearly not working.
Omar,
I bet you we had a regular email address.
Don't air our dirty laundry to our listeners.
Yeah.
Transparency.
Yeah, thanks.
Full transparency.
And we're also now on YouTube. You can go to YouTube.
Yes.
Type in FTS. I actually tried it, and the very first thing under FTS is Showtech FTS is F the system. That's not what FTS stands for.
That's
you got to scroll down. Eventually you get to episode number 5. Had 4 views on YouTube already.
4 views. That's pretty good.
The thing is, you won't see our faces. It's just an audio. But if you like to watch, The lines
It's a
move
better audio. It's an HD. It's an enhanced audio, and you get to see it's just to put it on in the background on your laptop, whatever. If you don't have any like Spotify.
Well, there's a line that moves, right, with the volume
it's pretty
and all
cool.
that. Yeah.
I'm curious, would our listeners be happier if we had like a Fred Norris type of character to giving like music or
effects?
like laughter or sound effects?
Yeah, we can do that.
I think that'd be actually good.
But like a laugh tracks?
We'll workshop it.
Maybe.
Yeah. He wants a sound effects guy. Real time sound effects.
Can make up sounds on his voice.
We don't have the budget for that right now, Omar.
Yeah,
but we'll put it on the wish list.
Let's work on our emails here first.
Yeah.
We are sponsored by Deacon Whiskey, which we've all now tasted, and it's delicious. We love it. We love it. Josh, you want to do the commercial?
Yeah, it's definitely smoky, sweet and peat with emphasis on smoky. So if you like that in your whiskey and scotch, you'll love.
So was my metaphor just completely off about the pancakes?
Yes, the pancakes. It didn't work for me. I did not taste pancakes. No.
I don't know why I thought that when I had it. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever you mix it with.
Sensing a trend. Lofton at the Indians. Pancakes with the whiskey.
Did you pour your Deacon whiskey on a stack of silver dollars or no? Because if you did that, it's possible. Did you bring it to the IHOP? That's possible. That could have done it.
All right, let's start the show.
Anyway, yes.
The show is each of us come up with a topic that we talked about before, and we're going to start with Omar. We know that his topic is good, but we don't know what it is. Omar, let's hear about your wild and crazy story.
I think there's an inverse correlation with topics that generally make somebody miserable to talk about, and they're being interesting topics.
Okay,
I think perhaps it's certainly inverted in some extent. So I was out in my hometown, New York, or what I think is my hometown. Josh will obviously say it isn't.
Not your birth town.
Yeah, but I was in New York this past week. And because of weather and whatever, I don't know, my flight was canceled Friday night. So I had dinner. I stayed another night in New York. I had dinner at one of my favorite restaurants in New York called Lore Fish Bar, which I think I've probably been there with you guys at some point, right?
I don't think so. That does not ring.
Lore Fish Bar?
Lure. So Lore is part.
No.
I think it's to me, it's one of the 10 most important restaurants in the world. Yeah, I'll tell you why. So, it's not easy, but obviously very possible to find restaurants that have great sushi, right?
Sure.
Right. And it's not as easy to find restaurants, but possible as well that have great French fries, right? I'm a big French fry guy. Now,
so
however,
a restaurant that has both.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's unheard of.
Tough to find in Missouri.
Thank you.
Thank
you. So Lore is one of those places. The French fries are like a 9.2 out of 10. They're spectacular. Spectacular French fries, if not even higher. And the sushi is spectacular. So, Josh and Dave, you guys are from Philadelphia and St. Louis, so I don't know if you know what the difference is between sushi and sashimi. But I'll explain it to you. So you do.
I do.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yes. Although I do get nigiri and sashimi mixed up. I have to always ask. But
Go ahead. Explain it to
the
listeners.
Sushi is just sashimi with rice, right?
Yes.
And sashimi is just the fish.
Right.
So I wrote a white paper on this actually a few years ago, but in other words, why don't you replace your carbs? Instead of having rice for the carbs with the sushi, I'd rather have French fries as my carbs.
You wrote a white paper on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you say a white paper, do you mean an email?
Long text.
Note to self.
Long text. A long text.
Yes.
But think about it. It makes sense though, right? Like I'd rather have French fries, high quality French fries, than rice for my carbs with fish. And so if you have it together, I'm telling you, it is next level. So I'm at Lore with my friend, who I won't mention his name, but I will say, I love him dearly, but he's not exactly Mr. Chatty, with like people, so to speak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Lore is hopping right? And
Yeah.
and we're at the bar waiting to get seated, and there are these two ladies who walk in to the bar, okay, and they're waiting for a drink. I just finished ordering drinks for my friend and I. Okay. And so I look at the ladies, I go, girls, it's your lucky day. Someone's going to offer to buy you a drink and never talk to you again. And they're like, what? And they thought that was funny because I guess it is funny, right? And long story a little shorter, we ended up kind of talking a lot that evening, right?
That was the pickup line, huh? I'm going to buy you a drink but not talk to you.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, why won't you talk to us? And I'm
like,
because there's too much
what a
pressure.
genius move. Yes, the reverse psychology.
Yes, what an amazing move.
Wait a second. I was also okay with the just buying the drink, to be clear.
Well, you have to be able to go there, yes, but...
Yes, of course. You're taking your shot.
I don't want to publish this. That's such a good move. Although I'm married, not that I need a move, but that's a really brilliant move, I think.
It's actually pretty brilliant. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm kudos.
I'm off to a strong start, right?
Yeah.
And
so personal.
And now the couple of realities that I'm sensing is that my friend has zero rap. Like,
is your friend single? Is your friend available?
Correct.
And does he listen to this podcast?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
I'm going to tell him about it.
Because he definitely knows who he is.
He's actually quite funny on like text, and like email. Yeah. But like really funny on text. WhatsApp, not as much so, but iMessage.
You can take your time with text. You can think about it. Not when you're in a conversation. You can't sit there and go, give me 2 minutes. I'll respond to you in a second.
He's also one of those types who's really comfortable with silence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, so I'm kind of like, I kind of have kind of like a 3/4 flat tire, right? A little bit on like a car. But I'm like, but it's fine because the friend conversation, I kind of have to carry both. To some extent. And anyway, long story short, this is where it gets a little, so, my friend and I sit down at a table. Yeah. And they're at the bar, and on their way out, they come to our table, and to say goodbye. These two girls. And so we are like, what are you doing later? And like, we exchanged numbers as we're talking about it. She's like, well, I have to go to this birthday party in Midtown. I'm like, Midtown? I'm like, what is up with that? Like, did you lose a bet? Like, who goes through a birthday party in Midtown in New York?
Well,
really? That's no longer. That's so 1980s or something.
I don't know what. Well, listen, that line wasn't as good as your other one, but keep going.
Well, I mean, look.
Well, it makes her think there's something going on.
No one goes out to Midtown on weekends, okay?
Yeah.
But anyway, so
it's just a ghost town.
It's like Escape from Alcatraz. It's like, why are you there? Unless of course you put in there by De Blasio with like homeless sheltering.
Right, keep going. Get off your
You're not a political show, so we won't go there. Was it De Blasio? I don't even know. Anyway, who was it? Giuliani? So anyway, and then she goes, "What are you doing later?" And without skipping a beat, I say, "Well, we're gonna go either to like Casa Cipriani or Zero Bond." And those are
what are those? What are those?
Those are both private members clubs.
Can you get into both?
I am not a member at either one. This is why I'm like, what? Why did I just say this to this woman?
Did they know what that was? Did they know what those two things were?
Yes.
Oh, they
did. And she's like, I love Zero Bond. Let's definitely meet. Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
so,
geez.
and I'm like, oh my god, I just complete unforced error, right? Yeah. I didn't need to go there. Now, look, there's a decent chance that I'll be a member at Casa Cipriani in the next few weeks, which isn't exactly something I brag about, but at least I can say I could cover that one. Zero Bond, no chance. Wrong demographic.
You couldn't cover it that night.
Well, yeah, which is why when you texted me twice, I didn't respond.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a perfect setup and just couldn't.
So I called like one of my buddies over the weekend, and I go, what do I have? Is there anything? It's like, the girl was, she was, clever. She was, attractive. There was, some sort of chemistry or whatever. But
okay, so you actually wanted. You were
I want to take her on a date.
Okay. I wanted to make sure.
And my friend is like, you have no shot. You lied.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
lied.
you did. You
You,
lied.
you can't. He goes, you need to send her a text telling her right now that, listen, I lied about Zero Bond. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he goes, except I think that I have an out for you. And he gave me an out. And the out is fascinating.
Let me hear it.
All right. So.
Who gave you this, by the way? The guy that you were with? That buddy?
No.
Okay, different dude. Okay.
No.
Go
No.
ahead.
That guy was a real zero. That guy.
No. He's lovely. But my guy, this is I don't want to say names because this is a public thing, but there is a very well-known artist that my friend is very close to who is doing an exhibit at Zero Bond.
Zero Bond. There's your answer.
And my friend says, you're my partner in it, so you are doing an exhibition there, and you can say that to her.
Oh my God!
And it's almost a way out. Listen, I lied about being a member, but I'm doing an exhibit there in the next week or two, and whatever. And so I think I might have an out, but is that a lie as well?
Well, wait, did you say
owns it?
Did you say you're a member, or did you say you're going there later?
No, I said no. Member. I'm sorry. When I said when I told her I was going there, she goes, "Oh, who's a member? You or your friend?"
Oh,
my friend. And I'm like, I should have said him. It would have been so much easier.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. But I did. I said me.
Well, here's your out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you have an East Asian friend named me. That took like a couple seconds for that to get through both.
I don't know. That's not your best, like,
it's not that. And then she goes, I thought you were a member. You said, no, my buddy Me is a member.
Yes.
My buddy Me.
I'll say Tong and Him Young.
Do you just think of that now? Is that from something? Have you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought of it now.
You just thought that's a,
yes, I just thought of it now.
I don't know if that's
it for him.
I don't know if I'd use that, but that's pretty clever.
Thank you. It's not bad.
But
right?
I'm still very impressed with the line. I can't get over it because
the first line he
really gave, because if you really break it down, you're doing something nice, but then you've added this element of mystery of like, why won't he talk to me?
Yes.
And who can let that go? I was just thinking, someone did that to me. I'm going to buy you a drink, but I don't really, need to talk to you. Just wanted to buy you a drink.
No. I'm never going to talk to you again.
Yes.
Oh, you said never.
Right, but he said it tongue in cheek, which was really clever, which is really good.
Yeah.
In other words, like, hey, listen, the normal society, I buy you a drink and then you're forced to talk to me because I did you a solid. Or
right.
I got you something. I bought you something. Now you have to talk to me.
Right.
And he's telling her, you have an out. I'm just going to buy this for you. And by the way, get out of jail free card. I'm never going to talk to you again.
But that's so intriguing. Like 80% of the people would be like, who is this person that would do such a thing? And now you've got a conversation. Yes.
You made yourself interesting.
Right. In a second.
I tell me that I have somehow discovered the greatest line ever at a bar.
Well, and just think, if they think he's a creep, he doesn't have to face up to it. He doesn't have to face rejection because they could just keep the drink or walk away. And he's like, well, I wasn't going to talk to him anyway. It's a perfect out.
It's a perfect out.
There's no rejection.
Yeah.
It's all upside.
I'm going to a bar after this podcast.
The only rejection, Dave, would be that they say, look, we don't want your drink. But then it'll be fine. Whatever.
They'd be like, oh, I don't care. I was going to talk to you anyway. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty
Omar,
cool.
Unfortunately, Josh and I cannot use this, but you need to try it again, like 5 times to see how it works out.
Well, I have a week this week. I'm going to bars a whole week. So in Chicago, Minneapolis, and Dallas.
I want to know what the hit rate is. I suggest
I will use that at this place and we'll let you know.
And then after that, don't lie.
I'm not sure why I lied.
Yeah, don't do that. And don't tell them about Kenny Lofton. That's what
it is, though.
No one ever tagged from second base.
I have a lot of issues with my lack of restaurants or places to go. Not restaurants, places to go to after dinner in New York. All my friends are like married. Like, what's that song by Hank Williams Jr.? All my rowdy friends have settled down. That's me.
I don't know that song.
It's
okay,
great.
But you just went to a restaurant with a single buddy. You just told us that.
No. But it's after the dinner. Like, where do you go after dinner?
Oh, I don't.
Well, it's not just married people. You
know where I go? I go home and watch Netflix.
I was going to say we're old. That's the problem.
That's what I do. I go home and watch
That's
I Love You, Man and figure out about Lou Ferrigno's personal life. That's what I do.
That's what Josh has been put on this planet for, is to ask those kinds of
Correct.
questions.
Yes.
Right. He can't be wasting time.
Actually, you want to know what? I really like what you guys just did there. I know it wasn't intentional because usually you revel in my misery, but
No.
like you've basically said to me, dude, that's a really good way. So I'm going to use that. This is a social experiment this week in each of the bars I'm in across America, and I'm going to report back to you guys.
Awesome.
So Omar, you can take this two ways. You can first take it like, wow, Dave and Josh listened to what I had to say and complimented me and said, wow, that was actually very clever. That was great. Or you can say, all those times that they ripped on me, they must have also been telling the truth because this time they told me it was legit.
Yes.
So there's two ways to look at it, really. And both are accurate, by the way. Both are accurate.
Well, be a glass half full.
Yes.
Focus on the compliments. Don't.
That's nice.
That's right.
Because I got to tell you, like living in Puerto Rico, I actually realized this today. I feel because I would say probably half or if not 3/4 or more of the population here speaks English as well. And I don't speak Spanish. I feel like I'm so, just
Foreign?
what's the word? What did you say?
Foreign?
No.
An outsider?
Just dense, like not even on their intellectual level.
Right. Yeah.
My dad would say a dumb. Don't be a dumb. Yeah.
But I think, Omar, this is an extension of your lifestyle of being very generous. The buying for the flight attendant, buying snacks for the flight attendant, being a really healthy tipper. I think that's one thing you've taught me. I think more comes back to you through that than what you give.
But Dave, we figured it out last episode.
Oh, God damn it, Josh. This is such crap.
We figured it out last episode.
I forgot. What was it?
He does it for reciprocation.
I know he does. It's a selfish.
Yes.
Yes.
I think not selfless.
I should have worked. Josh, this is so inaccurate.
But it works.
It
works.
Doesn't seem to be. There's nothing wrong with that too, by the way, either. That's why the government gives you.
I'm living in basically the Pirates of the Caribbean, okay? I don't speak the language.
It's why the government gives you a tax break when you make a charitable donation. Because you kind of have to. Because if you didn't get anything for giving charitable donations, there'd be far less charitable donations. People need something, even for good deeds.
Well, even if it's not for altruistic motive, the fact that he is that his generosity, however the moral,
I'm just more open about it than you guys are.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you mean?
Everyone does things because it makes them feel good. You're always getting something out of it. Now, you can be like certain people that we know in our industry who post about it on LinkedIn all the time.
Yes.
Which I would love to name names. Right?
Don't say names.
Well, have you ever bought a meal in drive-through for the car behind you?
No.
I've had that happen to me.
Yeah.
Where I had, and at one time it was just like a Starbucks, and someone said the car in front of you paid for your coffee, and I looked behind me, and there's no one behind me. So I was like,
thank God.
So then I go.
You wiped the brow and
So yes, I did. I was like, sweet. But I thought next time I go, I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy for behind me. And
you didn't.
I forget. I just forget.
You don't forget. You just don't. It's
actually interesting you mentioned the flight attendant thing. So because I've been giving out Starbucks cards recently, gift cards to flight attendants, like 2.
Yeah.
But the other day, I had a different bag, so I didn't have my cards with me, and I got a big bag of like these like healthy whatever chips or whatever, and I gave it to the flight attendants, and I had 5 different flight attendants come up to me thanking me. And I'm like, this is an interesting observation, right? Because the gift cards, you just get 2 thank yous. The bag of chips, you get 5.
Okay. So you're refining this. Yeah.
Again, you're just proving my point. You've now monetized your generosity.
No. I'm not talking about how I feel. I'm talking about.
Yes, you are. You got more thank yous than the bag of chips.
How much joy can be spread per dollar? Because the bag of chips was probably $18.
Good spin.
And that had 5 flight attendants. The 2 gift cards were $20, and that was 2. So. Do the math.
I'm telling you, I think there's a lot of nonsense, but there's some things that Omar is hacking life in a way that
A
I
bit.
appreciate. I think
Yeah,
it's good.
I'll give him some props on that. I'll give him some credit.
And that led to this line. I think the free giving is led to that line. I just think that's a great one.
It's a build up, is what you're saying. It's a build up to that line. That line was just years and years of asterisk generosity.
Right. That now the universe has paid him back in some ways
Interesting.
Unless it fails. If he's 0 for 5 when he's in this week, then I take it all back. But
interesting.
All right, let's move on. Josh, what's your topic this week?
Yeah, I'm going to run through this. So look, it's my birthday's coming up. It's next week. I'm turning unfortunately 49, so I'm catching up to you two. But look, maybe I'm getting old, but another thing I just keep noticing, and it's sports related, and it kind of goes with the theme that I've had through a few of these episodes about weird things in sports, but this is one that just bothers me. I don't know if you're watching. Do you guys watch a lot of baseball these days? I mean, you mentioned the Orioles, Omar, and I know you're a Brewers fan, Dave. Are you watching baseball?
I read baseball.
Okay.
These
I don't know what
days, or just does it matter that recently? Because I've watched baseball in my life.
Yeah, recently. Yeah, you watched it the last few years. Have you been watching a lot of baseball?
Yeah, off and on.
Okay. All right.
Less so.
Omar, where did Omar go? He got up.
Your topic.
I'm going to lay down the foundation of my topic, and he's not going to be able to comment because he's grabbing a pizza that he ordered. You got to be able to.
I can hear you. I'm listening to you.
I get it, but it's just distracting, and so we now have YouTube, so it's going to be interesting when I finally decide to post one of these get ups.
Oh, you said there's no video.
Well, not yet.
You get up one more time.
Anyway, so with my birthday coming up, and I'm watching baseball, and I just felt like, oh my God, am I becoming like a curmudgeon? Because I watch the Phils, not all the time, but enough. And these especially pitchers, but a lot of these baseball players, they wear so many chains.
Yeah.
Like necklaces and chains and long chains too, where it's like it pops out of their jersey. And I'm like, this is ridiculous to me. No one should be wearing jewelry while playing a sport at all.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. When you're rounding second and being waved into third, or maybe rounding third to be waved into home to play at the plate, and you got all these chains on and they're bouncing up and down in your neck, it's ridiculous. I don't understand why it's allowed. So I don't know. Am I just an old man, or does this bother you too? Is this something you've noticed?
Well, so do pitchers wear chains? Because I would think a pitcher would be.
Pitchers wear chains.
Like I've seen, like as a batter, I think you could, kind of maneuver around them without having it slap you in the face. But a pitcher, you're bending over.
If you were a baseball player, what would you look like?
What do you mean, what would I look like?
Would you have a big beard? Would you grow your hair long?
No, I'd look exactly like I look like. I wouldn't
change anything. Would you wash your hat? Would you wash your baseball cap? What
does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying baseball players, they each have their own style. And a lot of it is.
Okay. Style is one thing. I'm going to cut you off. Because some baseball players wear their pants down past their stirrups, so you can't see the stirrups. Others wear like the knickers look, right? Where it's like cinched just below the knee. Mm-hmm. That's style. This is extra. Flat out extra. And so, like, I equate it to like the Olympic runners. There's Olympic runners, and I think I've talked about this in a previous podcast. They wear chains too. And
do they really?
Yes. And it strikes me as very, very weird. Because if you look at Olympic swimmers, they shave the little hairs on their arms just to get the tiniest bit edge that they can in their time. And why are sprinters wearing chains? It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think in baseball, though, that there's any correlation at all between the amount of jewelry they wear and how good they are as a player?
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer.
A really good player get away with it. A first-year player, the coach would be like, "Get that off."
But why are you even wearing? I don't understand why you're wearing it.
It's important to them. Everyone means something, right?
No.
Who was the Jackie Robinson of this?
I don't know.
Was it Mr. T?
It's a good. Mr. T didn't play professional baseball.
He was a boxer.
Some guys wear really long chains
too.
He was a boxer. Yeah, he was. Clever line.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can't look. Here's the other thing with baseball, and this is. Remember, I told you about like it's weird that the managers wear the uniforms. I also noticed this with baseball. Forget about the chains. Well, keep the chains in mind.
Right.
Baseball uniforms, and I always knew this, but it just struck me this recently. They also wear belts. They have belts, like, hook belts that you put through, like you would wear with like khakis or suit pants that are on their pants. And I'm thinking, what other sport do they wear belts?
Well,
Why?
I think, doesn't a football uniform have a belt?
No, it's elastic.
Sure?
It's drawstring.
Is it draw? It's a tie.
Yes. Yeah. Why would baseball pants not be elastic with a tie string?
I feel like when I played Little League football, we had belts, but that was back in
possible. Yeah.
Early 80s.
I'm not gonna debate that. But I know NFL players do not wear belts. So I don't understand. Baseball is really messed up in this regard. It's very weird in this regard. I don't understand why players are allowed to wear chains. I don't understand why players want to wear chains. And by the way, they're wearing chains because they want to look cool on TV.
For sure. Right.
That's why they're wearing chains. Make no mistake about it. It doesn't help them in their game. In fact, it can only hinder them.
Well, I feel like it's like a tattoo, right? If people get tattoos, it means something to them. I know in this case, the tattoo does nothing. Doesn't get in your way at all.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the chain, they wear it not just because it looks cool. I'm sure everyone has a significance.
I've seen guys slide into second base on stolen bases with these chains, and it hits them in the face as they arrived. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I wonder if there'll be an injury at some point. You know what I mean?
I kind of hope so, because I find it ridiculous. And maybe I'm old. Maybe like if I was, if they were wearing chains when I was like 15 years old, I think it was cool and wouldn't think twice about it. But maybe because I'm just getting older, where I'm looking at this going, this is stupid. No one wore chains in the 80s. George Brett did not wear a chain.
Well, that's an old Brett. Man.
Wow, I'm picking.
No, but George Brett put tar. He put tar on the back.
Yeah, pine tar.
But that's an old man thing to say, Josh. Is in my day, we never wore chains.
It is. Well, that's what I'm saying. Am I an old man, or is there something to this? Is it so stupid that these guys are wearing chains? It doesn't make sense. When you're an athlete of this caliber, right? This is the highest level you can be in this sport, is Major League Baseball. Wouldn't you do anything to give yourself a little bit of an edge? Just like I go back to Olympic swimmers. They're shaving the arm hairs. You think that makes a difference? You think Michael Phelps, if he didn't shave his arm hair, wouldn't have the same medals? I guarantee you would.
Well, here's the difference.
But he does it anyway.
Here's the difference. I think in a sport where fraction of a second matters, then you have to get into that level of detail. And like golfers, right? Golfers have to be so precise. I bet you they're not wearing, I guess I don't know, but I'm sure they're probably doing everything they can because it's a precise thing. But like in basketball, baseball, there's a lot of room for error. And so the chain probably does not help them, probably hinders them to a small degree, but they're so good that, the style is greater. And I just want to say one more thing, that the greatest example of this was Wilt Chamberlain in shooting free throws. I've talked about this before, I think.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain, when he scored 100 points in a game, he shot his free throws underhand, like granny shot.
Yep.
And that's how he got to 100 points. But he was so ridiculed so much, he went back to shooting it because it was style, not function. And he went from an 80-some% free throw shooter to like 60.
Yeah.
And because he couldn't stand looking dumb. So
yeah. Okay. It's a good analogy, but let me go back to the golfer thing you said, because it struck a chord. So golfers, if you notice, forget about the chains and all that. They also, what they wear is also strategic. It's moisture wicking. It fits a certain way so it doesn't impede their swing. All that stuff. They do that on purpose. They want to have comfort with what they wear so they play better, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at snowboarders, like on the Olympics, like Shaun White and the snowboard. They're wearing these ridiculous baggy pants that they have to keep pulling up, by the way. These ridiculous baggy tops. And there's no way that helps them aerodynamically.
Well, that's the culture of the sport, though.
Right. But again, you are an athlete at the top of your craft. You're at the top level. Why are you not taking every single move to make yourself that much better?
I don't think it has that much. I don't think it has that much of an impact on baseball players. Actually, I think that's zero impact.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And I wonder if, like, more chains, the better. It weights it down as opposed to just one chain with a...
Weights down your neck? How is that better?
Well, yeah,
I don't running with
understand.
chains. You ever run with a necklace? I wear one thin necklace. I take it off every time I play a sport.
Yeah.
And I'm not in major leagues. I take it off every time because I don't like it bouncing around when I'm running. I know what it feels like to have a necklace on while you're running. It's
I don't like it either. Yeah, you know what? You're actually right. You're right.
You wear a necklace too, Omar, and you have a thicker necklace with a thicker thing at the bottom. So
it hits me in the face half the time when I'm running.
So imagine, these guys when some of them are wearing 3-4 necklaces, and they're running at full speed and then diving head first into second base. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. It's a style. I think it's a style thing. I mean, they're advertising themselves.
But I do think there's a correlation there. I think only the stars wear a lot of jewelry.
No. The majority of players are wearing necklaces. They're wearing some sort of jewelry.
I'd be curious if the pitchers are too. I really think it'd be distracting as a pitcher. But I think
the pitchers are. The pitchers are. Yeah, absolutely.
We're old, Josh.
Is that what it is?
Am
I old? Yeah. All right.
Back to my day.
That was my notice with my age going up. I'm going to hit the half century mark with you two. I'll join you two in that club in another year.
It only gets worse.
I wonder if I will just be a bigger curmudgeons when that happens.
So Josh, does your son's friends wear a lot of jewelry?
Well, here's the difference. In high school sports, you're not allowed. They tell you to take it off.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And there's a reason for that. You can't wear jewelry in high. Look at football. NFL players sometimes their necklaces pop out of their shoulder pads, and they have to then tuck them back in. Why are you even wearing it?
Along those lines,
put it in your locker.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dick.
Well, I was going to say along those lines, in football, when they have long hair in the back, why would you do that? Because I've seen guys get tackled by the hair, and that's legal. You can do that.
That's legal. You
think
that.
Why would you give yourself that disadvantage of having long hair? But they don't. This is who I am, and I want to be who I am. And
you know the difference though. The difference though with that is you can't take your hair off and then put it back on after the game and have your same look.
That's true.
So I get that. I actually get that. If you like the long hair, if you're Troy Polamalu and you like that long hair and that's your thing, and you're going to sacrifice yourself in the game with possibly you can't replace your hair. That's fine. I get it. A necklace you can put on. Football players wear earrings. Take them off. Put them back on after the game. They're under a helmet anyway. Nobody sees them.
Well, that one close. The hole to close.
It's not going to close in 3.5 hours.
People see the earrings, Josh.
They see them in the press conference afterwards when they're dressed, when they can wear all their jewelry again.
Josh should be the worst dressed player in the NBA.
Very possible.
You would dress like Adam Sandler.
I'm watching. It's funny because I'm watching a new documentary on Netflix called Quarterback, where they follow 3 quarterbacks. You guys gotta watch this if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, is it good?
It's very good. And they follow Kirk Cousins, and his wife picks out his clothes, and he's exactly what you just named, Omar. Everyone ridicules him for what he wears in his press conference. He wears like plaid button downs and it looks like Joe Dirt.
I don't want to like Kirk Cousins. I'm not going to watch it. If he's endearing at all, forget it.
He is. Unfortunately, Yeah, it's still fascinating. But anyway.
Well, Omar, you asked what Josh would look like if he were a baseball player. Just look up Justin Verlander.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
It's a spitting image for Josh.
That's what everybody says.
So that's interesting. That actually is true.
Look it up. Yeah, it is. Anyway.
I don't think he wears any chains, Verlander. There you go.
There you go. That's the answer. Go look him up.
There's your answer.
All right, here's my topic. Mine will be a quick one. So for my topic, this week my wife hired an organizer. Have you ever had hire an organizer? So what happens, this company, they come in and they go through your stuff and they organize it. There's like a show on Netflix where this woman does this for people.
Are they organizing your schedule, your scheduling, or they're organizing your clothes?
Your
physical stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff that you accumulate over time. Because my wife wants to get rid of everything, and I like to keep everything. That's basically.
I'm with her.
So we've had a lot of disagreements on what we should keep and what we should give away.
That's like a really good topic. I'm really interested.
Well, it gets better. What we decided is I have a list of things, and whatever we decide as a podcast will be the decision of whether we keep
I love it.
Or toss it. All right?
I love it.
You ready?
Omar and I get to decide, or you get to decide with us?
Well, I'll tell you my perspective a little bit, but I'll let you guys decide.
Can we decide before you tell us your
Yeah,
perspective?
and I'll let your answer will be.
Oh, I love it.
So my wife will be listening. This is it. All right, first, number one, clothes that I no longer fits me, but it's because I lost weight. It's not that so I could go back up to these clothes.
Yep.
So should I keep those?
Can I ask questions?
Oh. Sure.
Can I ask questions?
Yeah.
Are these clothes still fashionable? Do you still like the look of the clothes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would have worn them. I was wearing them,
And you wore them when you were fat.
Yes.
Then my vote is keep.
Plump.
My vote is keep. Omar?
Keep?
Out.
Yeah.
This is like keeping your ex-girlfriend's number.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna fall, or it's like keeping the crack pipe in the cabinet.
Look, there will be a
he's
day
never gonna have to wear it again. He's gonna continue to be fit and slender and in good shape.
I don't doubt that, Omar, but what if one day they notice Ozempic has these awful side effects and they have to cancel the drug? Then what?
You think that's what's keeping me down? Come on.
Then he's got to buy fat pants again. But he had perfectly good fat pants. I don't mean to call them fat pants, Dave.
Yeah, no. All right. I think Josh makes a good point. I'm going to call that a keep.
Yeah, that's a keep. It's a keep.
Okay. All right. How about old business cards?
No, throw out.
Over time.
No. Here's what I do, by the way. I'll tell you what I do with old business cards. I keep one from every job I've had. I think it's neat to look back on them.
Yeah, okay. But what about other people's business cards that you've got?
No, I now throw those out because I've put them in digitally.
Okay. Omar?
Throw them out.
I would throw everything out.
Okay, so that's out. All right. All right, how about old trophies? Now, when I played volleyball back in the day, I got quite a few trophies that from tournaments and whatever, and I'm pretty proud of them. Apparently, my wife less so. It doesn't really like the aesthetic of the trophy on the shelf.
Dave.
So,
in fifth grade, I won the Fran Bear Mathematics Award. Okay?
Yeah.
I was the sole winner of the Fran Bear Mathematics Award, first ever annual recipient of the Fran Bear Mathematics Award.
Who is Fran Bear?
She was a teacher at my school, and they started this award, and she's now no longer with us. And in fact, when my kid was in fifth grade, this was sixth grade, in the same exact school that I went to, the Fran Bear's son was supposed to give that award, and he wasn't showing up. And I said, I will do it. I was the first ever recipient. I told the principal, and he said, okay, you give out the award.
Oh my gosh, you did?
Then the guy showed up last minute, so I didn't get to do it. But anyway, to make a long story short, I still have that award.
Where is it?
It's in a closet somewhere.
Okay.
I still have it though. But I say keep your trophies.
All right.
What was
Omar?
it for again?
Mathematics. Math.
Are you good at math?
Yes.
No, it was a public school.
Now I peaked in fifth grade, but yes, I'm very good at math.
Huh.
So Omar, trophies.
Whether you should keep, whether I have any, or whether you should keep.
Are you not listening to the topic? Am I going to keep them?
Dave keeps or throws them away?
This is called keep or throw away.
How many trophies are there, David?
There are 5 of them.
Good question. Are they huge? How big are they?
Yeah.
No, one I was almost 4 feet tall, but my wife ever keeps like dropping them when we move, and so they keep. I'm down to just the cup and the little guy, so
it's a keep for me. Omar?
Josh does have he received a giant trophy the other day. Josh.
Yes, I did. I did get my fantasy football trophy.
Fantasy football trophy.
Oh,
where's
that baby's on my shelf in my office.
Really?
Yes, I love it.
So, David, my answer to you is force rank them. If they're hanging off of a cliff, the 5 trophies.
Yeah.
Is there one that you would say first?
Oh. Yeah. Well, the best one is the one that she keeps dropping. There is one that's more of a plaque that was kind of an all conference thing. So yeah, I could like toss some, keep the others. So you think that's a mix?
No.
Yeah, I would keep one. Just
keep one. Okay.
No.
All right.
That's a shame.
How about this? How about like old planners, like daytime plan? You know, like you.
No, throw out. My wife keeps those too. Throw them out. Out.
You don't like to go back and see what life was like in 1994 and what your schedule was like?
No. What are you, Brett Kavanaugh?
That's
Was that good?
Yeah, that was good. How about your kids' art from like grade school and stuff like that?
Oh, this is tricky. So what we do, my wife keeps a lot. I'm sure that she doesn't tell me about because she keeps everything. My wife is a hoarder, pack rat when it comes to this stuff. I keep selective stuff. So there's certain things that I just like if I get like just a card from my kid and it says, love whatever and there's nothing to it, whatever, I don't have to keep it. But if they drew something out or something I could tell was a little bit special, I keep it. And I keep something from like each period. So you don't have to keep everything they did in kindergarten, but keep like one or two things.
Okay. Omar?
That's my thought on it. Omar?
I think that I would. Okay, would your kids care?
No.
Good question.
One does, two don't. So that makes it trickier because we're just going to keep all the one for the one? Because then they'll care later when they see it's always save us for the one child.
Let me ask this question, Dave. If your parents had stuff you did in grade school, would you want to see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's your answer.
But I was special. I had unique talents. I think what they've done is they've given it to me. So I didn't even ask about my art. I've kept that.
I think you keep the most sentimental stuff and you get rid of the rest.
All right. So we'll call that a mix then.
Yeah.
Omar, do you have any other thoughts on that?
Does Kathy want to get rid of all that stuff, Dave?
Yeah, all of it.
All of it. She wants all the kids' stuff gone.
I think if we haven't bought it in the last 12 months, she wants it out of the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm with her on this. Get it out.
Wow. No, keep
a
select few.
Keep about birthday cards, old birthday cards.
Force rank. Imagine if they're hanging off of a cliff. No. That's how you think about all these things.
Wait, what? Who's hanging off a cliff?
All these items. Things.
These items.
Like every like these scenarios.
Would I climb down a cliff to go get it?
Mm-hmm. Risking dying.
Well, that's a silly thing. He's not going to climb down a cliff to get his pants, his old pants.
Yeah, there's really everything would be gone. But that's one way to live life.
That's a bad way to view it. Yeah.
How about your old report cards?
Now this is tricky.
What?
This is tricky.
Why was it tricky?
My mother saved all my report cards.
Yeah.
And it was a few years ago, but when I went through and I found them and I kind of looked through them and it was kind of interesting to see now look, I don't know if I'll ever go through them again. And I don't even know where they are, quite honestly. I don't even know if I have them or she has them, but it was neat to go through them that one time. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this. This is tricky. I'm torn. Omar?
Omar's he's saying out for everything.
Yeah, I mean, what were your grades like?
Oh, excellent.
Well, they were good. You're not keeping D's and C's there.
Yeah. Mind you, it's just an A fest. It's A's are everywhere. Everywhere you look, it's A's.
You know what? I have an idea. Get it framed in a big mosaic. Your report card.
You know what you do?
Wallpaper.
Dave, no, make an Afghan out of it. One giant Afghan out of all your report cards.
That's a great idea. Oh my gosh,
great?
that is fantastic. That's worth a podcast right there.
I think Kathy would love that.
Great ideas, this podcast.
Yeah,
that's a first.
Yeah.
How about here? This one's tricky. What about old VHS CDs or DVDs or Blu-rays? Even like Blu-rays, would you keep those?
Yeah. So I have this scenario. So and in fact, all my VHS tapes I've gotten rid of.
Okay.
So all VCR tapes gone. And I even, when Seinfeld first came out, from day one, when it originally aired, I would tape every single episode.
Yeah.
So I had all the episodes of Seinfeld on VHS. And then obviously now they sell them.
They're everywhere.
And now they're digital. And I bought them again on DVD. I kept the DVDs. I threw out the VHS and I've thrown out most of the DVDs, but I have kept a few, admittedly. So a couple special ones because I think they also could be worse than they could be collector's items. Some of them.
Oh no, not true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
What are you talking about? They pay a lot of money for old records.
Yeah, I don't think there's a supply and demand issue here. That I think the Shawshank DVD is not on the endangered list. No, but I'm actually thinking about getting rid of these because I think logically. All right. Even if I have the DVD or the Blu-ray, the special Blu-ray, like everything, I'll probably end up renting it and buying it off of Apple TV.
Yeah, you're not going to watch it. Yeah, you're not going to watch it. That's true.
All right, the last one I have, it's what do you do with all your old power cords? For all your old iPhones, like stuff that you're like, it's a USB and some other plug on the
Yeah.
Do with all.
I have a box sitting in a storage room of nothing, and I wrote on cords, and it's nothing but cords.
Wait, hold on. How often though do you go into that box?
So it's funny you bring that up because I do go into that box every so often. But there are some really old cords in there, like, some RGB cords and some red and yellows, which you just don't need because there's no hookups like that anymore. So I could go through the cord box and throw them out, but I would go in there and keep like your USB cords, keep your HDMIs, keep the stuff that potentially you could use, your Ethernet cords. You're going to need Ethernet cords. But yeah, you should probably throw out most of it. That's one thing my wife, who's a pack rat, that's probably the one thing I've hoarded is cords. Cords. Get rid of these things. Yeah.
The thing about cords, though, in the cord box is you could take every cord and wrap them very carefully and set them in the box like a baby in a crib, right? And lay them each.
Good.
And you walk away and you come a day later, they're all tangled.
Yeah.
Like I'm convinced that they're like elves that come around and like intentionally
tie them up,
put them all into knots. So
yes, it's amazing.
This one I actually did. We took our cords and we just got rid of them. I said if they're in the cord box, I can always buy a new cord.
You can. That's true. That's true.
It's a never-ending cycle with these cords. Like it will always keep sitting there in that box. And when I go look at one, it's like, having to play a game show to get the thing out of there.
Let me ask you this though. Can I ask you this? So what happens if you have like an iPhone cord and it stops working? Do you throw it in the cord box? Or you throw it out?
You mean now or before?
No, before.
Before we keep it. Yeah.
See, that's crazy. That's crazy. I've never done that. Every time it doesn't work, and I go, it stops working, I just throw it out.
But I don't know if it's the brick or if it's the cord. Now, if they're connected,
Don't you try it out? Don't you get a new cord and put it in?
No, that's
I do that every single time.
No,
I do that every time. Every time I check it out.
But which one of your friends, or is it you think is most likely to have a stack of manuals that they keep? Different manuals.
It's me. I have it. It's not only do I have a stack of manuals.
You keep them, Josh.
I have them filed. They're in my filing cabinet.
What? For like a manual for like your fridge?
Yeah.
No, your fridge, your coffee maker, anything.
I have the manuals for every single thing that I've ever bought and that really I need to reference a manual for, and I have it filed in a filing cabinet.
Away every time.
That is insane because you can pull up those things online. There's no reason.
That's correct. You can, and I know that, but I still keep the manual.
Where is this file cabinet?
What do you mean? Where's this?
In the
vault?
My
office. Yeah. I keep files on a lot of stuff. All the important things.
Is the trophy? Is it the aforementioned trophy on top of this file cabinet?
No, it's not sitting on top. No.
That's How many manuals do you think
it's on a proper shelf.
Rough number. Do you think you have?
I'll tell you. I have a lot.
Wait, Josh, don't answer. Dave, what's your guess?
I don't know the number.
I think it's going to be. If you said 50, I'd take the over.
What's the over under?
I'll say 50.
50?
50.
I'll take the over.
I'm an over as well.
I don't know the number because I will tell this. With the hanging folders, I've had to expand it now to 3 hanging folders to fit all the manuals. So I have 3 hanging folders.
The ones that expand?
Yes. And I definitely have manuals in there of appliances, of equipment, of tech that no longer is even.
You no longer have.
That I've thrown out. Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's not because I want to keep it. It's just because it's because I just don't feel like going in and sorting through and going, this is old, I don't have it, throw it out. I don't want it. I really don't want it.
Wait, but how often, so do you say to your kids, can you put this back in the file cabinet? Are they part of this ridiculous file cabinet? Or
No.
Does anyone else know about this file cabinet?
I am the controller of the file cabinet.
What if you're not in town and you need to fix something?
I need the lawnmower manual. Go and get a special file. Yeah.
No, I'm the one who does that crap. Oh my God, that's funny.
It
is probably stupid.
It's probably when you get to the point you're like, all right, I want to go through that file cabinet, but then you just do that for your whole house. That's what I'm going through right now. And so many things in your house is like your manuals. It's online.
No question.
You don't use it anymore. But getting rid of stuff, especially memories. Like we have pictures of my grandparents as children.
Yeah, don't get rid of that. Did Kathy wants to get rid of that?
Well, who's looking at that?
They're pictures.
Kids want to see them.
Why don't you scan them in? Why don't you scan them into your computer at the very least?
And then save it where?
Organize your
save it in the cloud
for you.
The cloud.
Cloud storage.
Yeah,
but cloud storage.
But what is that? But that I guess that is a guilt-free way of like throwing it away. Put it in the cloud,
Dave. That's history. The pictures you get rid of are every time your kid has a birthday and your wife tells you to take a picture of the birthday cake.
Yeah.
That's a dumb picture. Nobody goes back and reminisces about birthday cakes.
Right.
No one goes back. Hey, show me that cake in when they turned 4. Wasn't that a great cake? Let's go look at the cake pictures. But everyone does it. Everyone takes a picture of the birthday cake. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But everybody does it. But a picture of your ancestors.
Well, they're grainy, old, black and white.
You're
like no one's looking at
out?
those anymore. I don't know. It's
thank God
once you go down this path, it's a dark path because you're throwing out. Once you get going, like
throwing away your fat pants versus throwing away your pictures of your grandparents are two different things.
Do you understand what happened here, Omar? Omar,
breaking it down.
Omar, he kept his fat pants. He threw out pictures of his grandparents.
Because I might use the fat pants again. I'm never going to use
his fat pants. He threw out the painting his kid made for him when they were 4.
I mean, listen to what's going on right now.
Yes.
What's going on with this?
Yes.
Not to mention the pants clearly, especially because they're fat pants, take up more room than pictures do.
But I might use the fat pants. The fat pants may actually be on my body.
Your age 42 pants are never going to be used again.
Dave was never a 42.
I'm going to make a blanket with my report cards on one side and pictures of my grandparents on the other. That's what I'm going to do.
Why don't you make a blanket out of the pants? That would be softer material.
Did the organizer do this for you, by the way?
Well, they tell you how to get rid of stuff, yes.
So how much stuff did they throw out,
But
Dave?
Can't they synthesize or strategize or laserify, whatever Josh said, these pictures?
I didn't laserify anything.
Well, they would, but I think you get into this mode of like, do you really need it? Is it hanging on a cliff kind of a question? I mean, that's what they're there for, to encourage. They're encouraging us.
A picture of the people who they did not meet, you would not be here. So I think
that's a keep. That's a keep.
History. That's a keep.
All right.
And there's very few pictures of those people.
Yeah. Well,
because there were no cameras, or not as ubiquitous.
Well, what you'll notice too, what's amazing is that my grandparents at 25 easily look like they're in their 60s. I don't know what it is. Either
because
the health back
everybody
then
was sucking up coal and eating frozen
working
dinners.
in the fields,
and they all look like a catcher's mitt by the time they were 28.
It's crazy. I look at my grandpa like 10 years younger than me now, and he looks like my grandpa, like when that I remember as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. It's amazing.
Well, thanks guys. I will.
Unreal.
That's a mix of toss and keep. I'll endure.
You know what's amazing though? When you do move, and you guys, Omar, you've moved plenty of times. When you move, that's when you realize how much crap you have.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
You're moving your crap from one place to the other, stuff you don't need, but you throw it on the truck. Yeah.
Yes. It was an opportunity to throw stuff out too. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I still have this.
Yeah. A lot of times, well, we haven't. We've moved a bunch too prior to moving here, and we just kept moving the same tax receipts from 1996.
You bring the same shit from place to place, and you never look at it. It's amazing. So.
Well, let's wrap up. This was episode 50. I enjoyed all 49 episodes. We won't speak of one.
All very enjoyable. Does that mean our 51st is really our 50th, and we're just premature on this?
That's a good question. Well, then maybe we can do our idea. We have an idea that we may bring to you. Maybe that will be our special 51st episode. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Please email us at friends@fts.media or check out our website, friendstalkingshop.weebly.com, or check us out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, and maybe we'll make money that way.
Hey, Dave, smash that like and subscribe button. I don't want to say that.
All right. Omar, do you say anything for the benediction here?
I would say that thank you for listening for another episode, and we are endeavoring to get a better email address than Weebly.
Thank you, Brother Omar. That's very special. Well, on behalf of Omar and Josh, we're thankful for all of you and hope you spend the next 50 with us. So until next time, see you later, everybody.
See ya.
Smell ya.